Hey, great to see you. Welcome to another video with me, Nick, and my whiteboard, unnamed as yet. Snowy. Best I could do. So I was commentating on a tournament recently in Madrid. A lovely place to play poker. Actually, all the Spanish locations are great. One tiny problem though, they serve food very slowly, which if you're a poker player or commentator, it's very tough because on the breaks you don't have a lot of time. Get those tiny plates of things quicker, please. It's the only problem. Everything else is brilliant. And I was watching the tournament and I got to watch from and commentate from early on day one all the way through to the final table. And once again saw this true statement, which is the title of this video, acted out in front of me. And it is that you are playing poker tournaments the wrong way round. The wrong way round, almost upside down. I'll explain exactly how that is and what to do about it in a second. But if you are enjoying this channel, please do subscribe and turn on your notifications. It helps the channel, but it also helps you because you get to find out when part of my poker travelogue is coming online. Madrid Insights, tiny plates are slow. Okay, so what do I mean by playing the tournament the wrong way round? Well, tournaments have a little psychological trick, maybe a couple of psychological tricks that they pull. The first is that when you've got lots of chips in front of you, it feels like you can bet and raise a lot because it can't affect whether you go out of the tournament or not. The other psychological trick poker tournaments pull is that they feel like they're about surviving, where in actual fact, they're about accumulating all of the chips. You must accumulate all the chips to finish first. Doesn't mean survival has no role, but it does have a role. So what do these two things put together mean? They mean that most players instinctively play too loose at the beginning of the tournament and then too tight in the middle and towards the end. Now, how you should play, loose or tight, is obviously going to be slightly governed by the table that you're at, the cards that you get dealt, and so on. So I'm not talking about in all cases. Obviously, the situation will dictate how you play. However, in general, the maths dictate how you play. And the maths of a poker tournament are at the beginning, there is very little money in the middle. All poker is a fight for the money in the middle, the money in the pot, otherwise there's no reason to play, right? At the beginning, the blinds are so small relative to the stack, you might have 200, 300 big blinds. Actually, there's no reason to play loose. The big caveat to that is that you're sometimes at tables with weak players, and so you can get involved in pots with them and it can be very profitable. However, in general, there's no need to play loose if you don't want to. Now, as the tournament goes on, the blinds and antes get bigger and the stacks in relation to those blinds and antes get smaller. So whereas at the start you might be playing for 200 big blinds, it's very common that the average stack halfway through an event will be 30 or 35 big blinds or whatever. So there's much more in the middle for you to win. That means you should be more aggressive, not less aggressive. However, your instincts, your fear of loss, your desire to survive in the tournament will actually mean that you tend to go into your shell. I saw this in Madrid, I see it in every event I commentate at. It's a very natural reaction. Now, this phenomenon has been studied, and what some very enterprising people have done with a lot of time on their hands is study successful tournament players. And they found that they act counter to this instinct and actually take a lot of calculated aggressive gambles in the middle of tournaments. So they accept that yes, they're going to go out of tournaments. And remember, that's always the most likely outcome. Whenever you buy in, only 15, 20% of people maximum, often less, more like 10 or 12% is standard, of people will actually cash. So the most likely outcome is you won't go home with anything. And top tournament pros accept that, and they use the strategy of being selectively aggressive, especially in the middle and towards the end of tournaments, in order to try and build a stack, accepting they could go out and getting to the bigger prizes. So how do we do that? Because it's not just about being manic or just being wildly aggressive. 3 different ways that we can do that. 3, there we are, 3. I can do 3. 3 different ways we can do that. The first is to work on your mindset. So the first is mindset away from the table. And that's what I've just said. So you've got to convince yourself that tournaments are not about survival. They're about taking calculated risks. They're about trying to put the pressure on when the blinds and the antes get big, attacking those other medium stacks. But you've got to accept that and get that mindset right and understand that you will bust out most tournaments you play. And that tournaments are set up so that most of the money is on the final table, and even more than that in the top 3 places most times. So you've got to have that attacking aggressive mindset, not a crazy mindset, but a mindset that's willing to, when the time is right, bluff, semi-bluff, make big cool downs and so on, even if it means jeopardizing your spot in the tournament. Second of all is to stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. What happens a lot of times to tournament players is that they start to get caught up in the narrative of the tournament. Now, this can actually happen very early on, where you see players who, if they have a couple of big losses and they get down to kind of 30 big blinds and everyone else has got 200 big blinds, they go on tilt. They start to panic, right? They're thinking, oh, I'm in terrible trouble in this tournament, when actually 30 big blinds is plenty to come back with. Now, what happens as the tournament goes on is you get more and more subconsciously and consciously wrapped up in the idea that you could win some money, that, you've got to make good decisions now. This happens, when you get really deep, the pressure's really on, right? Suddenly you're playing for a huge multiple of your buy-in and you want to get it right. So you can start thinking about lots of different things, and for most players, that will push them into their shell. For most players, they will think about surviving, and they'll think about not going broke and not making a mistake. There's a small percentage of players for whom it goes the other way. So the pressure gets so much that you do something stupid, right? You just move all in when you shouldn't, or make a call you shouldn't, or whatever. That can happen too. The way to counter both those things is to stay in the moment, stay focused, understand there is no tournament. You can only win chips from the 7 or 8 or 9 players in front of you at your table. So focus on them and each situation, and understand that the cards and chips don't know where you are in the tournament. They don't know what's just happened to you. They don't know how you feel about it. They only know what cards they are, what chip values they are. So play each hand on its merits and stay in the moment. And then finally, leverage your stack. Leverage your stack. So what is the antidote to playing too conservatively in the middle and later stages? The antidote is to leverage your stack. What I mean by that is your stack is a weapon. Use it to put pressure on other players. You should do this by attacking the blinds and antes when they become valuable, attacking people who are attacking the blinds and antes. So that means 3-betting people that are opening too much and trying to steal the blinds and antes. That's a key skill you want to work on in your tournament game. And it also means putting the pressure on the right players. So the right players are either people that are, fearing getting knocked out of the tournament, but the right players are also based on their stacks. If somebody has got 20 to 35 big blinds, somewhere in that range, it's very hard for them to get embroiled in a big pot without having a big hand, because their tournament can be on the line so easily. So those are the players that you can, start to really put the pressure on: semi-bluff, 3-bet light, put them to big decisions. So make sure you're working on leveraging your stack. The practical tip that I would give you is go back over the last couple of tournaments you've played, particularly look at the middle and late stages, go through hand by hand and ask, could I have taken a spot here? Could I have taken an aggressive action to make a play at this pot? Could I have raised and attacked the blinds and antes, or re-raised 3-bet and put the pressure on, or done something else that would cause you to pick up chips that you can get without showdown? So some quick tips there, but the main thing I want you to take from this video is that your instinct will make you play tournaments the wrong way around. Your instinct will say be splashy at the start, be conservative in the middle, and really want to work on reversing that, especially the second thing. And you want to get aggressive when other players start to go into their shells. All right, I really hope that gives you value and help in your next tournament. If you've liked the video, smash the like button. And if you're ready to take this to the next level and you really want to do well in tournament poker, click the link underneath this video. It'll take you to our site and you can sign up and get our very best free resource to help you do better the very next time you play. All right, do leave a comment or a question. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll jump into the comments later on. Until the next time you press play on one of our videos, have a good one and run good, because that's the hard part.